episode 4. Now let's get back to coding. We are already at the part of updating and deleting. I'm still confused where to look. I'm still confused where to look at my screen or at the camera. Anyways, let's get back to coding. Now, what is it that we need to do here? Let me remember. Now let's make our update and delete, which is not that complicated, I promise. Alright, so I'll just paste the code and explain it along the way. So this, looking at this function or endpoint, what is it that we are familiar with? This, right? Since we want to update a specific to-do item, then we do it this way. Just like what we did with reading a specific to-do item, then we do the same with updating. That's the logic behind it. If you want to perform an action to one specific item inside our table, then it's a good indicator that we will be using URL parameter or a path parameter. So don't forget to declare the same path parameter name inside the arguments of the function. And then if you notice here, we have a to-do update. So this is the one that we made a couple of episodes ago. So the to-do update is this model. So it makes sense now why we made these, so that we can validate what we need from the request that we are making. Based from this model, we need the title, description, completed, which are all optional, since you can pick what you want to update inside the table or data, right? It makes sense. Pydantic models are very useful, so we just pass the pydantic model, like here, to do update and to do create, which is a very easy thing to do, and you already have validation on that part. Again, pretty standard, the DB. So this line here, it's pretty much the same as this one. It's pretty much the same. And then we only get the first result. Since it's given that we only need one, it's an ID. So we just get the first result. So if we found no to-do item, so we just raise an HTTP exception. So it will return a 404, to-do not found. And this here is a simple logic to check if the to-do update that we get from the request has the title, description, or completed. So this if statement just checks if it's not empty or it's not none. So we set the to-do that we got from querying the DB. So we make modifications from the to-do that we got from the database and change it to the to-do update the title. This to-do the title is from the database, from the DB. And this to-do update the title comes from the user. So don't get confused. So we are just making changes here. Same goes from the other two, the description and the completed. And then again, we need to commit and then refresh to get the newest to-do item, which has finished updating. And then we just return it. Pretty basic, right? For the delete, this is the easiest of all. We still do a path parameter here since we want to delete a specific to-do item. Here, pretty much the same. This is the third time we have seen this code. So we are pretty much doing the same thing here. And if we don't find the to-do item, pretty much the same handling here of the not found. And the way you delete it is just call the delete and then pass in the to-do we got from the database, then commit, and we just want to return a message if it deleted or not. All right, I think we are done with the delete and update. We actually have the CRUD operations here. We have the create, read, update, and delete. Congratulations if you got this far, but we still need to test it. So let's go to Postman again. All right, I'm excited. So first, let's see if it still saved the to-do item that we have created from the last episode. Oh wait, common mistake. We'll need to run this. All right, let's run it. And let's wait for it to start successfully. Here it says application startup complete. Now we are gonna get the to-dos. Don't forget to set it to get. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, how about we update this here? So, how do we update this? We have a path parameter here. So, we just concatenate it. And then we set it to put. And then we make the request body. For this one, so this one, I want to change this. It says null here. And I want to change it. Watch a couple of. And if we update this, what will we expect? It will return the new to-do with the already updated to-do item. Let's see. Watch a couple of YouTube videos. Whoa, that's crazy. Just to check, because I'm a bit paranoid. Let's get all the to-dos. Sheesh. We performed the update successfully. So now we are gonna test the delete. So I will pick still this one here. I will delete this. Sorry, dude, you gotta go. It does not need a body here, so I'll just set it to none. We'll just send it. To do deleted successfully. Damn. So I want to perform this delete again and see what response will we get. To do not found. Wow. Perform a read again. We should expect only one to do item here. What did I say? Bruh? Let's get it. Okay. We are now done with the CRUD operations. You can also check the debug messages here from UVcorn. When we performed the delete, when the ID does not exist anymore, you can see it in here. And this here, the info here, so this is very useful if you want to debug. So don't forget to check this, aside from what you get from Postman. I want to add a course here. So course stands for cross-origin resource sharing. Most of the time, for me, 9 times out of 10, I always encounter this error. So I want to give you an example. All right, I have thought of one. So imagine that you are working at Google. You're a developer at Google. You want to call your friend that works at Amazon. He or she is also a developer at Amazon. And then you want to call her using your company telephone. And when you call his or her telephone number, you will be redirected to a person. So this person, he or she will check if you have permission to make the call. So if you're sus, if you don't have the right information, or if that person performs a security check on you and you don't pass the criteria, then you will be blocked. However, if your friend proactively said ahead of time to the security team that this person named Charles will be calling and the security will verify that, then your call will go through. It's just like that. So we need to define a course middleware inside our backend. Also pretty much standard when you are working a full stack application. You will just define there what headers you want to accept, what HTTP methods you want to accept, if you want to allow cookies or authentication, and what IPs you want to accept. So we'll just paste it here. It's not that complicated. You just add this piece of code so that we will not have a course middleware error later on when we start building our front end. And we add it like this. So we just add the course middleware here. So the course middleware here this is from the import FastAPI. Still, it's from FastAPI. So we pass it as the first argument on this add middleware function. So this means allow requests from anywhere. So this just means that we are allowing any website to call this backend, and we allow cookies and auth headers. Methods, we allow the get, put, post, anything, any HTTP methods here like this. And then we allow all headers. In production, you replace this allow origins with the specific URL of your front end. This wildcard just means all. And let's just add one last endpoint. It's just health. So later on, when we are developing our front end, and if I encounter some errors, I will just call this because earlier I did not turn on my backend, so that would be a useful endpoint for me, knowing I pretty much forget about starting the backend. Not found. Why did I type in healthy? It's just health. So that's pretty much it. Come here. So this is the culprit. Just one noisy dog. Look at that. Look at that. So cute. You need a bath. I think that's all for today. We're pretty much done with the backend, guys. Are you kidding me? I think this is a sign that I need to drop off since my dog is having a tantrum since she wants to go outside. So, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.